What's going on, everyone? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. I'm shocked. I did not believe the Rob Gronkowski rumors of Rob Gronkowski returning to football to play with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But guess what? Rob Gronkowski is now officially a Buccaneer. And oh man, I'm excited to watch the Buccaneers next season. Now, before I actually get into the football side of things, as far as what Rob Gronkowski will bring to the Buccaneers, let me say this right now. We are really going to find out if last year was more so about Tom Brady being sort of in decline or him being washed, or if it was actually Bill Belichick not surrounding him with weapons. Because I got news for you. Outside of the Kansas City Chiefs weapons, Tom Brady has the best pass catchers in the NFL right now with this move if Rob Gronkowski comes back to somewhat of his old self. Because I got news for you. Mike Evans is one of the 5 best wide receivers in all of football. He's one of the best jump ball wide receivers in all of football. He's able to run quick routes pretty good, even for a bigger wide receiver. He's able to get open in the red zone. I mean, Mike Evans is everything you look for in a number 1 wide receiver outside of probably 4.3 speed. That's about all Mike Evans lacks as far as a number 1 wide receiver goes. Oh, we can take away Mike Evans. Nope, because you got Chris Godwin, who's one of the best route runners in all of football. He has very underrated speed, very good in the quick game, very good, at catching slant patterns and stuff like that. If you take away Mike Evans, you got one of the best number 2 wide receivers in all of football in Chris Godwin. And now if you take away those 2 guys, if you have a healthy Rob Gronkowski that is at his best, I got news for you. That's a scary sight because Rob Gronkowski, before he retired, he was still one of the best tight ends in all of football. And he will bring so many great things to this Buccaneers offense. The Buccaneers will challenge the Kansas City Chiefs for having the best offensive football next year. I still think they need to add to the offensive line. I still think they need to add to their running back group. I do believe they will address those things in this year's draft because this year's draft is filled with a lot of great offensive linemen. And it's actually one of the more deeper running back classes in a long time. So I do believe that Tom Brady is going to have a good running back to throw the football to out the backfield. I do believe they'll address the offensive line in the draft. They still have Ronald Jones. I don't love Ronald Jones, but he's a decent running back. He can work. So, again, if the Buccaneers shore up a couple things in their offense, oh my goodness, they're going to score a bunch of points. And arguably, they're going to be the best team in the red zone on offense next year. Because outside of Tom Brady being able to, run and read options like Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson, this is everything you want in a team that can execute at a high level in the red zone. Tom Brady's not going to turn the football over in the red zone. Mike Evans, he's great in the red zone and getting open. Chris Godwin, he's great at that as well. And Rob Gronkowski, you can just throw the football to him and he can just moss linebackers and smaller defensive backs and safeties. So the Buccaneers passing offense is going to be a nightmare to defend next year. And I do believe with this move, if Rob Gronkowski is healthy and if Tom Brady does not decline, this Buccaneers team could challenge the Saints for the division title next year. Now, like I said, the Buccaneers as a team overall need to improve their secondary. I do think that they need to add a defensive back or 2. They do need to improve the offensive line. They do need to improve the running back group. But if they tweak a couple of those things, that's a Super Bowl contending team. I really do firmly believe that. The Buccaneers defense is one of the most underrated units in all of football. I said that once Tom Brady was on the Buccaneers, that this team could be a playoff team next year, just simply because Tom Brady's not going to turn the football over as much as Jameis Winston did last year. I mean, Jameis Winston turned the football over 30 times in the air. He threw 30 interceptions, and we're not even going to count the fumbles. They lost so many close games because of Jameis Winston's inability to take care of the football. This Buccaneers team is going to be nice. I really like them. I really like what they're doing. I do expect them to probably trade O.J. Howard or Cameron Brate because how many tight ends do you need? I don't think you need 3 tight ends. Rob Gronkowski should be able to help out as far as, protecting Tom Brady on the offensive line. He's one of those guys that can, help up front as far as blocking goes. Travis Kelce's a great tight end, but he's not much of a blocker. Rob Gronkowski is a blocker. He's a willing blocker in the run game. He's a willing blocker in the pass game. And I do believe Rob Gronkowski's championship pedigree could really help this Buccaneers team because, you know, like I said, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, these are guys that have won multiple Super Bowls. These are guys that know what it takes to win. So I do believe from a locker room perspective, Rob Gronkowski is a fun, hip guy to be around. And I do believe he knows what it takes to win. And I do think Tom Brady is super motivated this year to prove Bill Belichick wrong. Tom Brady could have easily stayed in New England. But Tom Brady basically said, nope, Bill Belichick, you didn't surround me with any weapons. I'm going to go to Tampa Bay, where I'm going to have the best weapons, arguably, in football outside of Kansas City. And with this move, that is true. Tom Brady has the best wide receiver core, not named the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? That's a fact. I think Tom Brady has something to prove this year, and I will not be shocked if the Buccaneers win this division this year. I'm not officially picking them to win the division over the Saints just because I think the Saints roster is a little bit more complete and they have much probably better chemistry than the Buccaneers have right now. But I will say this, you don't have to be an overall well-rounded team to win 12 or 13 games in the regular season. We've seen Aaron Rodgers with a high-powered offense, you know, go 15-1 with a 32nd ranked defense. Literally a season or two ago, we saw Patrick Mahomes burst onto the scene and win 12 games with the Kansas City Chiefs with virtually no defense. We've seen, you know, quarterbacks that have a lot of weapons on offense be able to carry a team in the regular season to a bunch of wins because you can actually outscore teams in the regular season. But when it comes to playoff time, if the Buccaneers are serious about being a Super Bowl team, they're going to need to shore up the offensive line. They're going to need to improve their running back group, and they're going to need to improve the secondary. I'm going to give the defense a little bit of love right now. I do believe the defense is one of the more underrated units in all of football as of right now. You've got Devin White and Levante David at linebacker. That's one of the best linebacker duos in the NFL. The Buccaneers were able to retain Shaq Barrett and JPP. So you got two very good pass rushers. Shaq Barrett had a career year last year. Personally, I felt that he should have got some more votes for Defensive Player of the Year last year. But again, that's beside the point. You still got Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea in the middle of that defense. Now, the Buccaneers have been drafting some young defensive backs the last couple years. The secondary was probably the weakness of that defense last year. But again, they can get better. And once again, if you have a high-powered offense and you have a guy like Tom Brady on your team, your offense can only be so bad. I still believe Tom Brady has something left in the tank. I believe Tom Brady can still win you a Super Bowl because I think that Tom Brady is still one of the 7 or 8 best quarterbacks in football right now. He's not Lamar Jackson right now. He's not Patrick Mahomes right now. He's not Aaron Rodgers right now. He's not Deshaun Watson right now. No one is saying that, you know, Tom Brady is this elite all-world beater quarterback right now. He still can't really move. You know, he's a sitting duck in the pocket, even though I do think that he has very underrated moves as far as being able to evade sacks in the pocket. He's always been very underrated as far as his pocket awareness and movements in the pocket. So, again, you're not going to ask Tom Brady to, you know, take over a game with his legs, obviously, but he's going to kill you in that pocket. And if he's given time to throw in that pocket, and if Rob Gronkowski's healthy, this team is going to be something serious, man. I really like what the Buccaneers are doing. You know, a lot of people feel that Tom Brady has fallen off a cliff based on the season that he had this past year. And I will admit, it was sort of underwhelming. And I will say that he was actually part of the Patriots' problem on offense this past season. He did miss some throws. He does deserve some blame. By God called a spade a spade. Tom Brady is not an awful quarterback. I do believe if you surround Tom Brady with a bunch of weapons, he can still win you a Super Bowl. And let's be real. Outside of Julian Edelman, the Patriots virtually had no wide receivers that really scared anyone last year. You know, they tried to bring in Antonio Brown. That didn't work. They tried to bring in Mohamed Sanu. That didn't work. They tried to bring in Josh Gordon, and that didn't work. So, again, Tom Brady did not have a great offensive line last year. He didn't have the best weapons. And like I said, he's no longer an elite quarterback. He needs a little bit more support than he's needed in the past. So, again, Tom Brady no longer has any more excuses. He has all the weapons in the world. But, man, I got to say this right now. I think that Tom Brady still can win you a Super Bowl. And I do believe that this Buccaneers team is heading in the right direction. I really do. They're about a piece or two away from me really feeling good about them and for me picking them to win the division. But, again, as of right now, I think the Saints are probably still the best team in that division on paper. You can actually make the argument the Saints are the best team in football as far as their roster goes. I mean, they just added Emmanuel Sanders. They just added Malcolm Jenkins in the offseason too. So again, we'll see how this all shapes up. But man, this Buccaneers team is going to be something serious next year. I do believe they're going to win over 10 games at least next year. This is going to be one of the most high-powered offenses next year. Tom Brady is going to make this team so much better just from his ability to take care of the football and not turn it over. And I really like what the Buccaneers are cooking as far as heading into next year. And I think that Tom Brady is going to have something to prove to his doubters and ultimately to Bill Belichick. Because Tom Brady, the biggest complaint he had in New England was, I don't have weapons. Well, guess what? Now Tom Brady has some of the best, most lethal weapons at his disposal at the wide receiver position in all football. And I think that he's going to light the NFL on fire next year. Tom Brady is a sleeper as far as the MVP candidate goes next season. Don't be shocked if he wins that thing. But either way, that's all I got today. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.